Johnny, what about let's get into our men's. This always tends to be more controversial as we're talking about a larger rider pool, riders that we've seen racing, through cyclocross season. They've already done a lot of them have already done some early season road races, which you say don't really count as part of the road season, but here we are. Let's just jump right in. Favorites. You know what? I'll start because you're going to just steal all my favorites anyways.
Well, you did
Easy
such a
one.
good job, Jess. You did such a good job.
Thank you. The easy one, Sonny Cobrelli. He was a dominant force in 2021. My favorite race of his, and I think that's the clip that we're showing now, is that muddy and cold edition of Paris-Roubaix, that sprint to the finish in the velodrome. I mean, that literally gave me goosebumps, and it was just so neat to see the Italian come out and put himself in. Like, he showed us that he knows the classics, and he showed us that he is going to be a force in this 2022 season. And so, a lot of people may have just said he's primarily this, road specialist, but I'm saying no. I think I see him on the classics, like being consistent this entire season. This one's a little bit more of a could go either way, but we'll just say it. Wout van Aert. He had a huge year. He had his hat trick of wins at the Tour de France, winning the time trial, a mountain stage, and in a sprint, all in the same tour. A silver medal in the Olympics a week after. He dabbled in cyclocross. The guy's everywhere, and so he has already said on the record that he's gearing up. He did that abridged cyclocross season, and he didn't do all of the things last year so he could build up to be a classics racer this season. And so I think it's really him to go ahead and take it, and to we're going to be seeing a lot of him, I think, in our podiums this year.
Yeah, I think that Wout was so good during the cross season, and everyone was hoping he would come to Worlds. He was absolutely dominating, the best in the world, even without with that Van der Poel's back injury, without his main rival. Just was absolutely trouncing the competition. Sure, it was disappointing not to see him come to Cyclocross Worlds in the U.S., but at the same time, he took that break. You have to imagine he's bringing top form. He's shown that if he lines up, you've got to count him as a favorite. Certainly, it's a great pick. He's showing no signs of slowing down, so it'll be good to see him. Who else do you got?
Oh, I gave you my two. You're supposed to pick another favorite.
That's all
That's
you
it.
had for me, huh?
No.
I think
we could get into dark horses if you're saying that. Wow, it's going to take the whole.
No, I mean you have to look at Casper Asgreen. You have to look at the Decanic squad. They're or Quick Step. Or see, this is the new year. We have to you're still figuring out the new sponsors, stuff like that. Casper Asgreen, huge favorite. He was the one who stole away Flanders last year from Mathieu van der Poel. A note, and that squad is so deep, but they're missing Tim de Klerk. He's out with injury for this spring stuff. But yeah, Asgreen has got to be one of the riders they're looking for. They won this race last year with Ballerini, their sprinter. They set him up. They have so many weapons. A rider I've been watching the last couple of years, this is very much a dark horse, is Alex Arambaroo, who's on Movistar, who was 7th last year, had made the move. He went to a team that he was on Astana. Now he's on a team that he's getting a little more support as their premier classics rider. And I'm excited to see what he can do. I've watched his progression over the last couple of years. He's a punchy rider, a good sprinter. The Omloop's a good race for a sprinter if you can get over those final climbs. I sort of ticked a mark by his name. I think he could do something really special at Omloop, or even just in this whole Flanders week.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with a veteran for my first dark horse pick, Philippe Gilbert. He's 15 starts for Omloop, which, how many riders have even been racing as juniors for 15 seasons? Not many of them. So this is a man that has won the 2006 and 2008 editions of Omloop. He knows what it takes. And so, is he going to be on everybody's list? Absolutely not. But I've got to cheer for the veterans and for those folks that have put it out there season after season and have proven themselves. Matteo Trentine, UAE, we haven't really talked about them a lot this year. He's already off to a strong start. He was second place in the Vuelta a Murcia. I like the guy, and he's doing some great things, but I see him shaking it up with his team this year.
Yeah, he's a veteran campaigner, and as is, you have to that, with your hat tip to Gilbert. Like you can't every time these guys pin on a number, you have to if they're in that group of 20 or so riders after the first few selections, you have to the other riders show them respect. They know how to win these races, and I think you have to lump Greg Van Avermaet into that group as well of the guys who can just get it done. And they can find a way to win, even if sometimes they're not the strongest guy in the group. They know these races like the back of their hand. They've done them so many times. And then I know you have one more pick that I'm not going to steal for you. That he's got to be a gold star favorite, and you can go ahead with that one.
Oh, are we talking about Florian Sensational, or who are we talking about here? I'm looking at my list. Who are you looking at?
I think you're looking at your new 22 world cyclocross champion, young Brit Tom Pidcock. I was gonna give it to you, Jess, but we saved the best for last.
Save the best for last.
You did mention Seneschal. Pidcock is, I mean, the form he showed at the World Cyclocross Champion. You were there. Mm-hmm. Absolutely astounding. Now the big question is, how did his rest and recovery and training go to bring him into the Spring Classics? Clearly, you can't discount him. You saw how he was riding in January.
Yeah, I am a huge Tom Pidcock fan, and I actually, before we got on air, I had put him down as a favorite for this year. But knowing that he's come off this strong campaign for cyclocross, winning cyclocross worlds here in the United States, he had actually gone to his Team Ineos camp before World Championships, and so he had the road legs already starting to develop going into the end of January. We'll see what happens. I have him as a favorite, but you can't put them all as favorites. I can't wait to see what he's going to do this season.
For sure. And I did cut you off. You did say Florian Seneschal, and that's a great pick. A fantastic rider on the Quick-Step Alpha Vinyl team, and a great teammate. And in these races, and it's a great point you make, sometimes the guys doing the work, the teammates, the setup guys, end up winning these races because there's so much politicking that's going on behind them, and the races are just so hard. Great pick, Jess. Florian is knocking on the door of a big one for sure. Riding for the Wolfpack.